I read 8 books in March. Let's get into it. As always, I start off with the independent authors. I read 4 books from independent authors. First is The Blight by Andrew Dart, and I was genuinely surprised by this book. To be honest, I did not think that I would like it as much as I did. And I know usually I end by saying this was my favorite indie read of the month, but I'm gonna start with it this time. This was my favorite indie read of the month. The reason why I didn't think that I would like it is because it's told from the point of view of a cat. My sister was big on the whole Warriors book series, but I wasn't. But this book was well written enough that I completely forgot that it was cats. See, that's not entirely true. I still remember that they were cats, but it was written well enough that I wasn't distracted by the fact that they were cats. A short synopsis of the book: the cats are guardians, and they are protecting children from an unseen entity that humans can't see, only cats can see. A Dead-End Job by Justin Alcala. This one was a pretty comedic urban fantasy. Death needs to take a vacation because, I mean, when you've got so many people dying every day, you get a little tired of doing the job. So Death hires an intern, who turns out to be a Dungeons and Dragons obsessed, kind of deadbeat hitman. The characters were really well fleshed out, and I enjoyed all of the dialogue. The dialogue was the best part of this book. Savannah Seas, Maiden Voyage by Cynthia Mannion. This book was really quick. I think I read it in an hour. And I think this one is perfect for anybody who's looking for characters that are over 55, retirees, and who perhaps wants to read about billionaires who actually have a conscience and want to give back. My one caveat is that because it's so short, the characters aren't fleshed out as much as I would like. So it came off a little one-dimensional, but the positivity is there, and I'm all for that. Mandrake Manor by J.P. Rindfleisch IX. Rindfleisch. I hope I said your last name correctly. This one is another urban fantasy, well, suburban, because it takes place in an HOA, and there's a little bit of comedy in here too. I really enjoyed the snarkiness of the characters. It's a very cozy read, and it kind of gives me Charmed vibes, but instead of 3 sisters, you have 3 queer roommates who inherit this magical mansion from a long-lost relative. It was very cute, very cozy, very easy to read. If you're looking for a queer fantasy, I think you would very much enjoy this one. Moving on to authors that are not independent, The Immortalists by Chloe Benjamin. This read was a very thought-provoking look into the human condition. There are 4 siblings who at a young age were told when they would die. So what would you do if you had that information? This book is categorized as 4 like mini novels documenting each of the siblings' lives and how they responded to the knowledge of knowing when they were gonna die. The writing was really smart and very well researched. I would say my little caveat is it was a tad predictable, but it was enjoyable nonetheless. The Secret Life of Flora Lee. Book, you dum-dum. Book! Gracious. By Patty Callahan Henry. If you really like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, The Secret Garden, stories that are about World War II and how children coped with that, then I think you might really enjoy this historical fiction. I felt like you could read the very beginning and the very end and you would know the story. The middle part got very repetitive in my opinion. I did love the happy ending. Finally, the last 2 books are The Infinite Sea and The Last Star by Rick Yancey, finishing off the 5th Wave series. I had started 5th Wave ages ago and I finally got around to finishing it, which I'm glad that I did. If you have read 5th Wave, these last 2 books are not as good as the first one. I am sorry. But they're still very fast paced. There's so much action. You literally can't get away from the action. You're plunged, shoved into action. The writing wasn't as poetic as the 5th Wave. Kind of started veering into a little bit more of a young adult romance-esque type things in certain parts. And the twist at the end wasn't so much of a twist. It got a little bit predictable, but I still enjoyed it. I don't know why. I think I just really, even if it's predictable, I'm just like, yeah, this is going the way that I want it. That makes me happy. So yeah, that's what I read in March. What did you guys read? What was your favorite read? Any recommendations for me to read? But as you can see behind me, my TBR is incredibly long, so I have way more book reviews coming at you in the future. If you really like book reviews, if you like supporting independent authors, then go ahead and click like and subscribe for more, and I will be back next month with my, what month is it now? April. with what I've read in April. Anyway, take care, y'all, and happy reading.